What's up, guys? It's Gentry Chestnut. This is my 2022 in the bag. I'll be showing you what I've kind of been throwing and what I'm gonna kind of keep throwing. This is my first year kind of getting into tournaments and stuff, so this is what my bag's gonna look like. So I'll start off with putters. These are my main putting putters. I've really come to like these Eric Oakley Classic Moonshine Wardens. They're just really great. They feel good. Very straight, with just that minimal fade. Not too deep of a rim, but just feels comfortable to me. So this is what I'm gonna be putting with. I got a couple of these. That. For my throwing putters, I throw two molds. First one, I've got the Maiden. Really like this disc a lot. It's got a shallow rim, so it's very easy to hold. Almost feels like a mid-range. Just very comfortable. I have a BT Hard. I throw this one a lot. I throw this one for upshots more. Both of these off the tee, but I throw this one a lot. I can hyzer flip, get it straight, just rides right and just holds it. It doesn't dump, doesn't fade really hard. It's just very neutral flyer. I really like this one a lot. And the VIP, I'll pretty much use it for the same shots. If I want a little bit more distance or a little bit more glide, the VIP kind of has that, and that slight more fade. So a lot of times I'll do this for like, if I need to throw it really hard, I can throw it flat, it'll ride to the right a little bit, and then it always has that one fade. It always comes back, so these are super awesome. Alright, and next, for my throwing putters, I've got Westside Harp. First one, I've got this BT Hard. Really like this one. Throw this one a lot. You can just kind of crank on it really hard. Very, very straight. If I throw it flat or a little bit of anhyzer, it'll ride just a little bit to the right, but it always fades hard. I use this one a lot for approaches when I just need to stick to the ground. This is my BT Hard. I have a tournament plastic as well. This one I can get a little bit more distance, still fly straight, but it's got that extra glide, a little bit deeper than the BT, fades a little bit harder. I can really throw this one hard and always trust it to fade. Really good for sidearms too. Just the Harp in general, good for sidearms. I'll throw this one a lot if I just need a straight sidearm. And then my last Harp, I've been throwing this Ricky VIP X Moonshine Harp. This one has been nice. This is my most overstable. I'll do this one a lot for just big hyzers. If I need like a little skip, there's a headwind, big forehand throws. This one has been really good. So. Next we'll go to the mid ranges. This is kind of what I've been throwing. For my kind of just straight, dead straight mid range, I've got the Westside Gatekeeper. I have a BT Hybrid. This has got the Erica Buffalo stamp. These are really nice. They feel really good, got a lot of grip, and they beat in really nice. They get pretty flippy, so this will be like my turnover mid range. You can throw a hyzer, it'll go flat, it'll go to the right. It's not gonna dump. That's kind of been my struggle finding a mid-range that can reliably go right. This one will ride right and just kind of land flat. Sometimes if I get height on it, it'll come back. But I can use this in the woods just for a lot of different shots. And then I have a VIP. This one is a little bit straighter. If I throw it flat, you know, it'll go to the right very slowly and just drop. I can kind of use this for a lot of different shots. Throw it hyzer, just depending on the wind situation, you know, it'll get flat at best and just hold that and then fade kind of thing. soft fade. So that's my Gatekeepers. Those are really nice. My next mid-range, kind of a more overstable slot, is the Westside Bard. I've got two. I've got a VIP in a tournament. This VIP, I throw this one a lot. They're both pretty nice and beat in. This one has got a little bit of turn in it. If I throw it flat, it'll go to the right a little bit, or depending on the wind, it'll just go straight, just dead straight. But the thing with the Bard is it always has that fade. It always fades, not too hard, but that reliable 3 fade. This one I can work a little bit. You know, it'll flip up a little bit and then fade hard, or I can kind of flex. This one is nice. And then this tournament one, this one is a lot more overstable, which I like if there's a lot of wind, or those just big long hyzers. This is just nice. I love the Bard. It's got that little bead, comfortable rim. Feels good. And then my last mid-range, kind of a utility disc, is the Dynamic Disc Justice. It's in the Lucid plastic. Justice, I really like this disc for forehands, or just like big skip shots, big like spike hyzers. If I need to get out of trouble, this disc comes in handy a lot, especially when it's really windy. See me throwing this, so Justice. Next up, with fairway slots, throw a couple of different molds for the fairways. My 7-speed, I throw the Dynamic Evader. This disc, I just started throwing this recently. I really like it a lot. If you throw it flat, so I carry two. I've got a Lucid and then I've got a Lucid X. The Lucid, very workable fairway. If you throw it flat, it'll go straight. You know, just depending on the situation, you can maybe get a little turn out of it. And then it has a really good fade, not too hard, but just a nice, you know, if you've got an open field, I like to go for this disc a lot. So, and then I've got a Lucid X Evader as well. This one I kind of use for like big skip shots. It's considerably overstable, so I'll throw forehands with it if I need that short, you know, kind of driver forehand. Big hyzers. This is just is really nice. Evader's got a really nice feel to it. Small rim. It's a great disc. So. And probably my most go-to fairways is going to be the Westside Stag. I've got a couple of different ones. Kind of my go-to is this old tournament Stag. The old Westside plastic just feels so good, especially that tournament plastic. So this Stag is really nice. You can kind of use it for anything, hyzer flip, flat, and it just goes dead straight. If I really crank on it, I can get a full turn, but it doesn't turn over too hard. It always fades back. So this one is kind of like my go-to. And then I have this new, I just got this. This is the new hybrid Stag from Erica, sort of spring stamp. Really cool looking disc. I love the hybrid plastic. Don't always find that. But I got this recently. I've only thrown it a couple times, but the hybrid plastic just feels so good. Pretty much like VIP, but it's just slightly grippier. This feels really good. I'm hoping this will kind of beat in a little bit, and this will kind of replace that, like my most understable Stag. Just getting full turnover flights, or if there's a tailwind, just big tailwind bombs. Yeah, so we'll see how this disc works out. And then I've got my third Stag as a VIP X, the skull. This one is really nice, very stable. I can hyzer flip flat, and it'll just go straight for days. I can throw it flat and it'll kind of work both ways. It's got a much harder fade than a usual stag, so still workable. It's not just straight beef, but a really nice complement to that. And then I have been carrying the Westside Bear. Just kind of playing with it, seeing where it'll fit. A lot of people compare it to the stag. It's noticeably more stable than a stag. If you throw it flat, it kind of works a little right, just depending on the wind. Very straight, has a hard fade, much harder fade than the stag, but feels very similar. It's got a nice rim, so it kind of fits in that 8 to 9 speed. I think it'll probably be a 9 speed, but we'll see. But the Bear has been pretty nice, so we'll see how that fits. And then my last fairways, this slot I've been kind of changing around just with my arm, trying to find something that works. But the Westside Fortress, I played with Atis, played with Felons. The Felons were nice for a while, but this Fortress is still in a bag. They're a little hard to find, but found a couple of them. I've got two. One in this VIP Classic, one in the tournament. Both very similar. That tournament is just a little less stable, so kind of a little bit more workable, but I throw this a lot for forehands. I do it in like a headwind, where I normally would throw a stag. I'll probably grab this. Very workable. It's not too overstable. The Ati was, just that little bit too overstable for me and my arm. But the Fortress works really nice. I can get some skips out of it, just depending how I throw it. It's just been doing really well, so this is going to stay in the bag. Play with these for a little while. So then my distance drivers. So the one I throw the most is going to be the Westside Sword. I've got 4 different ones that I throw here. Kind of my most understable. I've got this Tournament Burst. These runs of swords are really awesome. I've got a couple that are just really beat in. So big turnovers, goes all the way right, but it's not going to turn into a roller or anything. It'll always get flat. And then depending, if I want big flex, it still has that fade. So this is kind of my most understable sword. If there's a tailwind and I just need to throw far, I go to this guy. Next one is the Orbit sword. These just look really cool. They did a really good job with this Orbit Classic. I'm excited to see more of this plastic. But again, that tournament just feels nice. This one is a max weight, so for me it's a little bit more stable, but I can still get it flat. It'll work to the right a little bit, and then fade. So kind of just a little bit more stable. I'd say just that medium stability for my swords. I'll go to this one a lot. This will be like kind of my go-to. So yeah, Orbit Sword, and they just look cool. Next I have a VIP. This is just a misprint. But the VIPs are nice. They break in really quick. But I like these. This one, it's considerably stable. I found a couple like this, but I can work it flat and it'll just hold dead straight. It might turn a little bit, but it's not going to turn as much as those tournaments, and then fades back. VIP, if I get it low to the ground, I can maybe get a little skip, but I like this one a lot. If there's a little bit of headwind, I like to go to this. But yeah. And then my last sword, probably my favorite just to throw, is this Tournament X Erica sword. Man, these things, I like to just rip these flat and they just go straight and straight and straight and straight. If there's wind, you can work them a little bit, at least for me and my arm. But man, this thing just goes really far. It doesn't turn over pretty much whatsoever. And it fades hard. So this is kind of my most overstable sword. If I just need high hyzers, I like to go for this, or just a regular sword shot and there's a lot of wind, I'll go for this, but plastic feels great. I like just ripping this one really hard and just watching it go really far, so this is fun. And then another driver, been liking the Enforcers recently. I got the Ricky Lucid X Enforcer. They just look really cool. Ricky stamp for this year looks amazing. And these Lucid X Enforcers, I go to this shot a lot for forehands, or just like spike hyzers. I like to get this a big hyzer and it'll just stick in the ground. So this has been a really nice disc for that. Headwinds, if I just need an overstable, no matter how hard the wind's blowing, it's gonna go left. So really liking this disc a lot. And then last but not least, my two big kind of overstable distance drivers is going to be the Westside Adder. I carry two. I have this prototype. I've been pretty much playing with this since I got it in the Westside box. And then I have a VIP first run. I think the prototype doesn't have quite as much of a pop top. So for me, and it might just be because it's, you know, very beat in, but the prototype for me goes very straight. I can throw this very straight. Of course, it's gonna fade hard at the end of its flight. It pretty much always will skip, unless you're throwing like a spike hyzer or something. This disc likes to skip on the ground. So especially with those skip shots, this is really great for it. But I like this disc because it's an overstable distance driver that you can still get distance out of. So I can still throw this pretty far, pretty straight, especially if there's wind, you can kind of work it a little bit, but this disc will always skip. I go to this one more for like the distance, if there's a wind, and then I will go to this VIP. I throw this one more, but I'll go to the VIP for like big skips or kind of just like big long hyzers. So I don't really throw these forehand a lot because I don't know, I like to go to that Enforcer for forehands, but yeah, this disc is really awesome. Did a good job with this. So yeah, so that pretty much wraps up my in the bag. Thanks for watching, and catch you later.